stage name. Our stage name is Oba. Oba is Kabiesi. Oba is king. So my pleasure of welcoming. Oba is a lady, not please. Oba, you're welcome to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a little bit, because trying to go through your profile, I'm just a little bit, surprised.
Okay.
Such a cute, nice young lady, and doing all this stuff.
Well, it's by His grace.
By His grace.
Yeah.
Please pass the grace to me. I really like it, No, but seriously, how did all this start?
There's this saying by Miles Monroe, that for every person on the face of the earth, there's something that God has deposited in you. Now, when you discover it and you develop it, you're developing it defines who you are. So I discovered this line of assignment way back when I was young, and I started nurturing it. I'm an electrical engineer
by training.
Yeah, by training. But all through doing that, music and writing and speaking had always been a part of me. So when it got to a point where, okay, I think we have to just drop this engineering, whatever, and then face this, because, passion, when it begins to burn in your bone, that
you cannot
resist. You can't, but just face it and just work it. And it's a working process. It just goes on and on and on and on.
Now, let me just, I can share some secret with you. Her name is Bidemi, but I'll come back to that later. Now, but wait a minute. Now, but how about your parents? They didn't quarrel with you over this?
Oh, yeah, they did. I remember at one point, my mom was like, you're the firstborn, and then you want to be doing alagbe. Because, in those days when you say you want to sing, it's like, there's nothing to this. Why would you want to leave that? I'm like, look, this is what I want to do. And when it got to a point where there was no turning back, they just embraced it. And now I'm really so excited because even they're sending their prayers, and like, just keep going. We're behind you, and
Okay, your first album has to do with, again, worship.
Yeah.
So all your music and all your career, all your development has got to do with Christian.
Yes, it's a work of faith, and I see myself as someone who has been called to pass a message to my generation with my kind of music, and so that's why the genre is afro, neo soul, and jazz embedded together in one. And because music is universal, I'm able to pass that same message of His kingdom, in that manner. And it's not just passing the words alone. The music, the packaging, the professionalism, the tightness, so everything is on, is working pari passu. So there's a merging of skill, expertise, and grace and unction all together, to bring out something that will appeal not just to the four walls of church, but even
to the wider
that's my
society.
assignment. Just cut across, and then the message is simple and clear.
I hope our viewers are watching this and they're listening to what she's saying. So it's not just about the four walls of the church. Now, but so what do you have to say about what you see, the vulgarity that we have in music amongst some of our established stars and all that? And
you see, when you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. Now, when we get to the point where you don't understand
why you're doing
this, there's every tendency that you will fall for anything anybody says. I remember 10 years ago when my first album came out, Simply Divine, and some people came and told me that, look, you need to do commercial music. Now, I don't have a problem with commercial music, but you see, because I'm not wired to do,
that kind of stuff.
So like, that's what is going to put food on your table quickly. Yeah.
And it is necessary.
And it's necessary. But because I'm not wired to do that kind of stuff, this is what I'm wired to do. So I just stayed in there. It was rough and it was tough. It was painful. But you see, because I had to stay in there, I know that if I do something else, I won't be fulfilled. And I know that someone, because whatever it is that you have it's not for you alone. There's somebody looking and watching that will want to follow that path. And if they don't get the right inspiration, they just fall for anything.
Okay, now wait. I know you're a mother, you're married, and so how does he? Okay, you're gonna do late night gigs. So I mean, so are you saying no? Wait. So you leave my home and you're gonna do club shows and
we're
come back
all
home?
together.
Excuse me.
Yes.
It goes with you to go and.
Yes, and even my boys. I have 2 boys.
And they follow you too.
Oh yes.
So it's a family thing.
Yes, we're all in it together.
That's why you're Oba. Now wait, but see, the truth of the matter really is, how many artists can we get to do this? Get support from husbands, get support from children, get support from families. So how did you manage it?
There's always a blueprint for every assignment. Now I know that, especially in this part of the world, family values is very, very important. And there are days now that people are going away from that. Like, look, there's this independency kind of thing, but because I know that this is one thing that I can't do alone, so I need the support of everybody around me.
You.
And I'm so blessed that my husband and partner is also in it, so it makes the journey easy, even when there are turmoils and rough and tumbles, because there's an agreement, so we're just facing it together. And then the children have come to realize that, oh, daddy and mommy are in it, so they are picking it. My children, one of them sing, one of them play their piano, and so it's like it runs in the family, so they are catching it. And
okay, before we leave, so you don't support the idea of artists being single parents?
I really don't, because the scripture says that blessed be God our Father, from whom the families on earth derives its name. So
I can't argue with that. So